There's a number of nations that vaccinated the majority of their population, or at least sizable numbers of their population, now approaching 6 months ago, the middle of this year. Lots of calls as we now have this new Omicron strain of the virus to speed up those booster shots. I was speaking to another epidemiologist earlier on in the week who said that she was between a bit of a rock and a hard place by suggesting that people who have already been vaccinated twice should get a booster shot rather than, of course, the vaccines that we already have being distributed to parts of the world where people are not vaccinated with even one shot. What's your take on that situation?
I actually have the same stance. Unfortunately, what has happened currently is we have people in the developed world getting the booster shot, but we have many countries in the developing world, especially Africa, that haven't had even one vaccine. And that's a problem for vaccine equity. So it's important for us to actually distribute these vaccines. We need developed countries to share the vaccines to the COVAX initiative so that those in the developing world can get the vaccination. As long as we have large numbers of unvaccinated populations in developing countries, we have the problem of variants arising. But in the case of booster shots, I think in the developed world, those who have reached between 2 and 6 months and are immunocompromised and over the age of 50 can have access to those booster shots. But it is actually a moral and an ethical imperative to increase vaccination to the developing world as a matter of urgency.
Let's discuss the new variant. I know that we are still waiting on the data to be provided, but there's been a lot of debate about whether or not the vaccines are going to be as effective against this Omicron strain as they have against the other variants, even, of course, the virus to begin with. What are you hearing or seeing on this front? We are, of course, still waiting on the data to be released from a number of these pharmacological companies, but do you think that the vaccines will stack up when it comes to protection?
At present, we do know that around the world, we are actually monitoring the efficacy of vaccines against the Omicron variant. It's much better to have the vaccination than have no vaccine at all. And the vaccine has proved efficacious against the Delta variant, which has been highly infectious and caused severe disease. What we do not know at this stage with this variant is how transmissible it is, and at the same time, the severity of the disease it's caused. It's early days. We will know this in a few weeks' time. With respect to the pharmaceutical companies and the laboratories around the world, they are actually adjusting their vaccine requirements. We've heard that Novavax is adjusting its vaccine to the new variant. The others have said that in a few months, they will be able to do this with the new variant that has emerged.